Good day, my name is Simone Salangurai. In this video, I'm going to be doing a quick reflection on the lesson that I prepared for my grade 8 learners to integrate technology and communication. So in this particular lesson, I choose the topic photosynthesis. And the reason why I choose it is so that by the end of the lesson, I want my learners to be able to define the definition, give me a definition of what photosynthesis is. And I'm also going to be expecting them to be able to state the components that are needed for photosynthesis to take place, which also includes knowing also what are the byproducts of photosynthesis. So this class activity is going to be including all of that, and also by the end of the lesson I would expect them to explain the process of photosynthesis to me. So my lesson plan is going to be divided into 3 phases, which is the introduction, the development phase, and also the consolidation. So with the introduction phase, I designed a class activity whereby the learners are supposed to be doing a quiz. This is an educational quiz, and I'm stressing out the point educational quiz. I do not design the class activity for the learners for me to identify who's the one who comes out the top in the class or the list, but I specifically designed it so that in the process of them answering this activity, they're also able to learn some definitions and some concepts that are needed, like the main concept that we're going to be dealing with when we tackle the whole lesson of photosynthesis. So that is why I'm strictly emphasizing on the fact that it is an educational activity, and I will also stress this out to the learners that because at the end of every question there is also an answer, and with the answer it comes with also the full definition, it's not just an ABCD multiplication, but it comes with answers and explanation of the whole term and the whole concept. So after the learners have dealt with the introduction, when we enter into the development phase, this one is the main phase whereby I will expect the learners to have went through our lesson, which is learning about photosynthesis, like I said already, learning about photosynthesis, the components, the process, and also the byproducts. And at the end of the lesson, I would have designed for them a class activity whereby they need to group themselves in groups, and then they perform a scientific investigative task whereby they're supposed to test for starch, which is one of the byproducts of photosynthesis. This tells us that photosynthesis has taken place. So learners should not only know that, learners should have this. I've specifically designed it so that they can have a depth of what photosynthesis is and the importance it plays in our daily lives. Seeing a tree and knowing that, okay, after photosynthesis takes place, these are the byproducts, this is what will happen, this is what we expect to see. So that task is going to specifically equip them and know that everything that they have learned about leads to a certain thing. So after they have went through the development stage, we will now enter into the conclusion. The conclusion is basically also going to be a quiz, and this is like the final piece of the puzzle. It is in a way, it concludes everything, and it is in a way like a revision of some sort. So this quiz is also an educational quiz which brings everything together and completes the whole phase of our learning. ICT tools that we made use of in this lesson. In this lesson, we made use of the laptop, the projector, and the tablets. and also headsets if we are going to be including that as an ICT. So with the laptop, of course, this is where I'm going to be playing all the videos, and the projector is I'm going to be projecting the videos on the wall so that all the learners can be able to access it. And with their tablets is where they're going to be answering all the class activities, all the activities that we're going to be going through. They will be making use of their tablets. They're not going to be using their workbooks, but they'll be using their tablets specifically. And the headsets, though I have made sure that we'll be having headsets so that the learners that have a difficulty in hearing, they would at least have to wear the headset so that they can hear properly and they're not left out of their class activities. Class activities that I've designed, we have made a substitution in a way that instead of learners using their workbooks, we are just trying to integrate ITC for this activity. So I just opted for them to use their tablets rather than answering. They could have easily just watched the video and written down the answers on their books, but I wanted to be a full-on ICT activity. So I just made sure that in all the activities, I made sure that they're going to be substituting their books for their tablets. I'm trying for them to learn so that they can know that when you are using ICT tools, for example, in this case, they're using their tablets. When you type out something, you can at least get a typo correction. You can also get a wording correction. Though they are going to be using it for mainly their quizzes and for the investigative task, the group leader is the one that is going to be the one who's going to be writing, not everyone else, which they're going to be using their tablet or a laptop. So in this specific task as the teacher, my role is specifically going to be me setting up the whole ICT tools, making sure that we have all the tools that are needed, making sure that every learner's needs are met. Every learner has got a tablet, and for those that have a difficulty in hearing, they have the specific headset that are needed. And if there are those who cannot see properly, we have an option of them making sure that I have set up a place for them to sit in front, and also for setting up all the tools that are needed, the projector, the laptop, and making sure that all the learners have their tablets, all of them are functioning properly, and also when we start everything and make sure that everything is functioning properly as well. And then for the learners, their role is going to be, my role also as a teacher is going to be to give them instruction. I'm not just going to play videos and not give them instruction, but I will give them instruction before and after. They will know what is expected of them. They will know that while they are watching, what do I expect them to be doing during the process of them watching all the videos that I'm going to be presenting to them. And for the learners, their responsibility is going to be, of course, listening and following the instructions that I give them, and also writing down the task. I mean, typing the task or ticking the answers that they're going to be ticking on their tablets that I'm going to provide for them. And also their other responsibility is going to be to form their groups, because we do have an activity whereby they are going to be expected to group themselves. So that is going to be their responsibilities as well, to form a group of which they will perform the specific task that is going to require them to be in groups. Effectiveness of these tasks that I prepared, I do believe these tasks are going to be very effective, considering the fact that I included a hands-on task whereby everyone is going to be proactive. No one is just, rather than them just being sitting and listening and taking in information, I am actually going to expect them to get up and be proactive, perform the task together, the scientific investigative task, whereby I am going to be expecting them to be working together and being proactive in the process. So I do feel like it is it is going to be a proactive one rather than just passive. They're not going to be passive learners in this process. They're not just going to be listening to me while I talk, give them instruction, or just listening to the videos or watching the videos, but I am going to expect them to put to action what they actually learn. And whenever learners are expected to put something into action, it always brings in the effectiveness of the lesson or the task, because it shows me that they didn't just watch and listen, but they learned something and now they are putting it into action. And also considering the fact that I'm going to make sure that it caters for everyone, even those that have difficulties in learning or difficulties in hearing or seeing. It is going to be effective because everyone is going to be included. I'm going to make sure that I cater for everyone. So for the inclusive teaching part, I've already covered on that one already. When I spoke about the differentiation, when I spoke about me making sure that everyone is catered for, this is going to be strictly an inclusive class activities, because everyone is going to be included. I am going to repeat myself on this one, but like I said already, everyone will be included. Anyone who cannot see properly will have to sit in front, or if they are still facing difficulties, we'll have to watch the task on their tablet. And then we'll also have headsets for those who can't hear properly, and just to make sure that we are all involved. And when it comes to the investigative task that I'm going to give them, I am going to make sure that they make sure that they group themselves, and when they group themselves, they divide tasks amongst each other. When they divide tasks amongst each other, everyone is going to take their point they are strong in. For example, the task we have obviously have a team leader, we have a scriber, we have different roles. So for example, if you have someone who knows they're so confident in writing, when writing using tablets, that person will take over that task. And then if we have someone who knows that they have very good leadership skills, that person will take over the leadership task. And then for others, they'll take the other task. And when I'm saying someone who is more confident in leading or more confident in using the tablet, I'm not saying we are excluding those who cannot. Obviously, the ones who are not going to take the leadership skill task will learn from the leader how the leader moves and everything. And when you are performing something together, the whole point is for everyone to learn from each other. And maybe tomorrow the role of leading will not be taken by the other just because you simply learn from others. So this will also include peer learning, which is also an effective way of learning as well. So yeah, that's it for the whole activities that I'm going to be presenting to my learners, my grade 8 learners, learning about photosynthesis and integrating technology and communication in the activities and the lessons. Thank you so much.